Hi everybody, today we're going to be using if statements in Robot C, and we're going to use the bump switch, which you can find right here. And you're going to get to choose whether you want this to move your claw or each one of the circles that I have here, which would be the left and right motor. Depending on what you want it to do, it's totally up to you, your decision. You get to kind of take the freedom, so I'm going to kind of let you go today. But today we're going to be using bump switch. If you get done with bump switch and you want to try out the limit switch and maybe try the other, maybe move things backwards and then forwards, or move the claw open and shut that you didn't do the first time, totally an option that you can do. It's up to you how you would like to move forward. So starting off first, I did bring up my PLTW template that I changed. This is the one with the GTV testbed, with your name and the period that you're in. If you have not saved the template like this, you should have it. So right now you should be opening your sample programs, going to the PLTW file and opening the PLTW template, changing your testbed to GTV testbed, and also putting in your name, your period, and then doing a save as so that you can put this in your documents and call it PLTW template with your at least last name. So to do on how you want to do that. Okay, so opening my PLTW template, I'm going to go ahead and mark the date. You can go ahead and put whatever date that you're going to put. We're using if statement. Okay, so that is our project title. You can do an if statement bump switch if you want to use the bump switch, or you could use the limit switch, whatever you're trying to do. I'm going to use the bump switch. And you can see how it pops up for me. If you ever see this blue box pop up, if you hit the tab button, boom, it opens up for you. Also, if you want to move things down and it's not moving, if you hit the insert key, it's actually a keyboard button where you push insert and you can actually move things around, because sometimes it will overwrite stuff and you're like, what is going on? It's actually your insert key is stuck on, so you can get rid of that really easy. All right, back to our program. So task description, I am going to use the if statement. My program might be a little bit different than yours. My program is going to be if the bump switch is pressed, motors move forward. Otherwise, my motors move backwards. So I'm going to put that in my task description. Pseudocode, some of the things that we need to keep in mind. Bump switch is located in our digital, DGTL, and that's going to be digital 2 for us. And our motors, and you can do that as in your places as well. I'm not going to go into it right now. All right, so first off, we're going to do our while command. So we always want to make things looping in here. If you ever don't want to make things loop, that's fine, but it just makes things a lot easier when you're testing them out. When things happen, that they just can continue to repeat over and over and over again. So start with my while statement. Again, you can put while true as well, that's fine. And since I'm doing a start bracket, I also need to do an end bracket. Okay, so everything in between here is going to repeat itself over and over again until I have it stop. Next, while 1 equals 1, I want bump switch to work. So I first start off with my if statement, and we're going to go to sensor value. Now, usually we go to natural language and we use this area for this time. What we're going to do, sensors, variables, sensor value. My sensor that I'm looking for is my bump switch. And if my bump switch equals 1, because again, we're comparing our bump switch, which is pressed in is 1, let go is 0. If it equals 1, we want something to happen. I am not going to put a semicolon at the end. That's what that is. I'm not going to put a semicolon. Because it is a conditional statement, we don't want to stop it. We want to say if, and then we're going to continue on. It's kind of like when you're talking to someone, that same thing happens. If, and then you kind of go on to your story. Same thing's happening here. Because we want something to happen at the same time, I want my left and right motor to both move, I need to put those in brackets. If I fail to put my start bracket and my end bracket in here, it won't do them both at the same time. It'll actually get hung up and stick, and it won't continue, and it's a big problem. So if the sensor value of bump switch equals 1, what happens? Well, my motors turn up. So I'm going to go to loop it. I want a start motor, my left motor, and I want my motors to go full speed. So I'm going to go 120. Okay. Again, if it is pressed, motors move forward. If I wanted it to go backwards, this is where I do the backwards. But we're going to go ahead and do the if statement first. Okay. So if bump switch, start motor, left motor is 127. I'm going to go ahead and do another start motor after that, and put our right motor. Now, that all goes together. If I don't close this with my end curly bracket, this won't happen. So I need to start and end it. I still need to use these down here. These are already stuck. This one's stuck here, and the bottom one is stuck here. It goes in order. It's outside to outside, inside to inside, inside to inside. So it's going to from the outside. So that's good. If you want to hit fix formatting, you can kind of see how that will line up with each other. You can see that these are in line with each other. Okay, so we have our if statement, but else would be if it's not. Instead of saying if, and then if it equals 0, it's easier just to use else. Can you use if sensor value bump switch equals 0? Yes. But if you're looking at potentiometers, if it's greater than a number, then you have to go if less than a number. Anytime you do that, you're writing out this whole if statement. If you want to do that multiple times, that's great. You can actually do if the bump switch is pressed, you can do a second if the limit switch is pressed. I can run 2 programs at the same time, and we could do the if sensor value of limit switch equals 1, and I could have my claw open. So I can run at the same time bump switch, I can run limit switch. That's something that you're going to be doing later. We're going to be as we keep progressing, that's going to be your other tasks. Right now we're just focusing on one sensor, one set of motors, but eventually you're going to be running multiple sensors running at the same time, because that happens. We are constantly doing multiple things with our phones, and multiple things are running at the same time, and it's just that's how we work and we function at that rate anyhow. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and just stick with our one program, but just know that you do have the option of doing more than one function at the same time. So second, let's go to the else. And else, we want to go ahead and do this same thing. Now, I said I wanted these to go backwards, so the easiest way to do this, else, and I just changed these to mid. Super easy to do it that way. You can see how, if you noticed, I forgot my end curly bracket right here. And so we have our start and our end, our start and our end. Start for their loop, end for loop, main, start, end. When I compile this, you see that everything is either red or blue, and it works, okay? So last step, we always want to put our comments in here. Our code allows us to know what's going on. If I send this on to another teacher, if I send this on to another programmer, if they open it up, they need to be able to see it. Just like you're going to be sending all of your programs to me. I'm going to be opening these up, checking them, making sure they work. If you don't put your comments in there, I won't know what you're trying to do with your program. It's different for everyone. Just like there's multiple ways to get from Mathland to Canton, there's multiple ways to get from our bumpers or bump switch moving, limit switch moving. There's multiple ways of doing it. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and fill everything in. Okay, so you can see that I went ahead and filled everything in. If the bump switch is pressed, left motor runs full power forward, right motor runs full power forward. If no buttons are pressed. Now I could limit myself and say if the bump switch isn't pressed, but if I want to build on this program later, it would be I'd have to change it anyhow. So I might as well just go ahead and change it now. So if no buttons are pressed, left motor runs full power backward, and right motor will also, let me change that, motor runs full power backward. So again, I have my start, end, and they all line up. Left motor, right motor. I would probably want to finish that at this point. You guys get the idea. Hopefully this helps you. You can get this program finished. Leave that on there for a second, and just pause this video as you need, and go from there. All right. Have a great day, and let me know if you need any help.